Morning everybody. Angelina's still in bed. I've got up early and snuck out because I've got to go to the shop and get her a couple of things because it's her birthday today. So best get to the shop and get some flowers. Right, flowers bought. Now time to make breakfast. Here's her morning flowers. And I thought they'd be quite nice. So morning flowers, her birthday flowers even. And then there's this. There we go. Okay. It's a real rose, which has been preserved. They last about a year. They're quite cool, aren't they? A nice night out in Laval, which is a local city on the river, and it's very pretty. A meal, and then back to work tomorrow. Right everyone, it's another beautiful sunny day, although I think we're going to be getting to the last of the sunshine for a week or so in the next couple of days, so we're just trying to crack on and just make sure we're not left anything outside actually after the nice weather, because it's all too easy when you've got a run of nice weather to leave stuff outside by accident, because it doesn't matter, because it's not going to get wet. And one of the places which will have to get sorted out, of course, is our kitchen garden. And it's already starting to spring back to life, which is a little bit of a problem because it's not cut back enough yet. But I've also found another issue. These have survived the winter. Angelina can tell you what they are. There's some sort of multicoloured edible something, which we're going to have for decoration somewhere. These are all looking quite good all the way along. Obviously the grass needs cutting, and our berry bushes are starting to spring back to life. So a little bit of work to do up here, but so much clearer after we did those, so we get a real chance to make a difference up here this year. We have a leak and we need to get that dealt with. It's time to get the water off. Right. Somewhere in there is the water stopcock. Ugh. Oh, this is fun. Delving your hand in. There we go. Right, water off. Let's do this. Okay, I think it's just going to have to get cut off and a new fitting on the end of that pipe, as I don't know, that looks like an infant soldered it on. That's not a fantastic job. So it looks like that's been repaired before. Decent fitting, and then when all this dries out, cement that, mortar that into the wall properly so it doesn't move. Let's get to it. And there's Rick down there going for it on the ivy on the trees, because we are very near to being able to announce a date for our summer live music event. So that entire area down there is a important thing to get cleared. So he's on the case while I'm on the case up here. Unsurprisingly, when a job like this comes up and completely ruins what you plan to do for the afternoon, I haven't even got the right fitting here. So it's to the shop, thankfully, as they're open, buy a fitting, get this done, get the water back on, and then actually try to get on with what I was doing anyway today. Right, we have the connector. It's time to cut this old one off. Electric grinder will do the trick. Well, that's quicker than the hacksaw. Right, tap, everything else fitted. Let's make sure this doesn't leak, get the water on, and then get back to the job I was supposed to be doing today. And then tomorrow I can mortar that in place properly. I'm not saying things just come up here which kind of ruin your plans for the day, but things just kind of come up here that ruin your plans for the day. Oh well, let's get it done. Water on. Oh, sounds like building up pressure. It sounds like it stopped. Could be good. Oh, yeah, definitely get my step count in. As that stopcock and actually all my plumbing stuff is hidden around the back at the bottom in the old bread oven, and that's all up the top at the other end of the garden by the gardener's cottage. I am definitely getting my step count in today. Well, it's always positive. You come on then, little cat. Come on then. Come on then. Right, look at that. No leaks. Now we have some water. Yeah. Superb. Right, that's a completely unexpected, unrequired job done, but at least I can get the water's back on. There's no water leaks, there's no problems, and now that's all solved for when we come up to do the kitchen garden, which isn't long because it is starting to get to planting season, which is a bit of a difficult thing to look at because this place is a mess at the moment. All right, everyone, we had some major work happen, and it all happened off camera because it was all a bit sudden and needed doing, and it wasn't really something I wanted to do, but it is something lots of you have mentioned in the comments, so I thought I would show you the absolute devastation afterwards and explain why. We no longer have any conifers around the chapel, which was mentioned by quite a few people, rightly so, that they were blocking it all out. And it was something I was trying to do at another time, but it was just physically impossible to shape them back properly. And we have cleared quite a lot up, but it didn't look like that when we first did it. But let me explain why we did it. These large conifers, and they had grown very tall, taller than the gutter line of the chapel even. And they, of course, when they were planted, they would have been small and ornamental like this. And as you can see, when they're small, the greenery goes all the way in, and you can keep these small and shape them, and they look very, very pretty. When they are left to their own devices, all the stuff inside is not green and pretty, and these type of trees do not regenerate. So when you cut them back to try to gain that shape again, they'll just be brown, which is kind of not the look. And because they've grown so big, because some of them are up here, well above the guttering line of the chapel, I'll say it right this time, the issue, of course, is the root system. And the root system is coming down here. You don't want to destabilise the walls. We found some cracks on some of the render inside the chapel on those sides, which means there was some slight movement. There is some slight movement in the walls, and it was unfortunately time. I think we might well try to plant them again, but at the moment it was about saving the little chapel. And to be honest, I think now it looks a lot better, to be fair. It's now so open and light from every angle. Of course, most people didn't. I actually saw a comment where some of your windowless chapel, there's one on that side and there's one on the moat side of it as well. But combined with that tree, which I was doing the other day directly above it, which was going all the way over that as well. We've got all of that light. This will be a wonderful little area now. So they've all gone from the back, all that side, and just look at the light. Of course, I've got the old postcards of this place from 1800 and something, 1900, and this never had those conifers around it, so they're not original. They've been planted afterwards, and of course I don't like taking any nature down where it can be avoided. I do like saving buildings from root systems, and let's just show you some of the issues it was causing. Now you can see, you follow the line, that is movement cracks. because that was pointed. So that is from the roots underneath. So now we've saved the chapel properly, and when I get the tray picker back in, I'll pull all the last of the ivy off now because it's easy to get to, same as up there, and then we can repoint this at a later stage. And quite look forward to cleaning up that cute little window, and of course jet washing the entire building, as I think the roof, now it hasn't got trees above it, so it won't go green. We can jet wash the building, and then that will look fantastic. Then in the not too distant future, we'll show you inside, but that's another video. So yes, thank you for all your comments regarding not having those trees there. It was always going to be something we looked at, and we just looked at it a little bit sooner. Sorry for everyone that might be upset those trees came down. I'm always upset when trees that are healthy to a point have to come down. I like nature. Trees do some wonderful things for the oxygen for us, etc. And of course wildlife. But I do prefer having the building standing. So sadly they had to go. I made a massive mess, but my friends are taking that away for, they want it for something else, which is helpful. So on to the next job.